Right, evening, guys. Now I've got a whisper because it's late at night, but I just want to give you the heads up on this one, and this is going to save you some money, hopefully. Now, cut a long story short, in the UK, for your water supply, your fresh water supply in your household, you're either on a meter or you're not. If you're on a meter, then you're charged by cubic meter, or if you like, per 1,000 litres of water into your house. Yeah, and you're also charged 1 cubic metre, 1,000 litres of water out in sewage. Or you take the other option where you pay what they call water rates and there's a fixed price at the end of the year. Now then, the house that I'm in, I bought many years ago and it was already on a meter. For me, the missus, the little one that's gone now, obviously moved on. For a small family, it works out cheaper. Now, I don't want to digress too much, but at present prices and conditions, I mean, we're now in 23, okay, I pay roughly £1.50 per cubic metre of fresh water into my house. Yeah, so it's £1.50 for 1,000 litres of fresh water. Those of you that buy bottled water might want to listen to that again. £1.50 per 1,000 litres of water. Yeah, and I pay around about, I think it's £1. It varies, but between £1.60 and £1.70 per cubic metre of water, or 1,000 litres of water wastage away. And when I get my bill, I get a bill, two bills a year, so every 6 months, and those two bills are combined. So, for example, if I get, say, 100 cubic litres in fresh water, I will pay for 100 cubic litres out, wastewater, two bills. Yeah, they're combined. The wastewater out is more than the fresh water in because I suppose they're looking at bodily fluids and, tissue paper, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I had a notification, a letter from my water supplier, and I come under Essex and Suffolk Water, and they were offering to help households with their water bills, yeah, because everything's going up, isn't it? And I got the letter saying that we've noticed that you're paying more than your neighbours. Nothing like Big Brother, is it? But anyway, and I thought, we can't do. We've turned off, like, what we don't use the hose in the garden, especially because of the drought, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, for some known reason, we were using more water. Well, as I suppose luck would have it, last night I was laying in bed, I could hear tick, 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 and I thought, what the bloody hell was that? I've got a leak. And it was a leak in the radiator. And I thought, oh, bloody hell, no. But it was a drip, drip, drip. And I went over there. The carpet was obviously wet. There was no mark on the ceiling. And I thought, bloody hell. Anyway, so I called in the plumber, and we got a plumber that we use a lot. He's a lovely lad, like Danny's a lovely lad. And gone over there, we turned off the radiator, we're going to get a new radiator, blah, 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 blah. And as we was talking, it's worked out, now this is you're going to love this, it was worked out that a drip of water works out at 0.33 of a mil of water. And you'll think, what? and that 0.33 mils of water in my case, and it was dripping 6 times in a minute, worked out around about half a litre of water a day dripping out of my radiator. Half a litre. Now, obviously, I pay £1.50 per 1,000 litres of water coming in. So it's not about the money. It's about the wastage, really. It's about the, I think, bloody hell. Plus, the fact it's damaging my carpet. Right. So, trying to give you a perspective on how much water is. So, I was talking to the lad and I said, well, how else can I save this water? Like, I've got this thing from the water board and blah, blah, blah. They said, well, let's have a look. So we've gone around and we've got out in the garden eventually. Now, out in my back garden, I've got a pond and I've got my veggie patch and I've got my lawn, etc. And he says, like, you've got a outside tap, Dave. I said, yeah, it's over there. He said, do you use it? I said, well, I haven't used it, no, not since like the drought and everything. So I didn't think it was fair. I moved all my tomato plants in their troughs into the pond and I've turned off the pump because it's too much electric and I can't afford the electric. And he went, well, have you claimed the money back for your land runoff? And I thought, what are you talking about? He says, well, you've got an outside tap. You're on a meter. Yeah. He said, so you get charged on the meter for the money that comes in, and you get charged because of that. So, to bring you to this bit, say my water company says I've had X amount of water coming on the meter. The sewage company takes that figure and goes, you've had X amount of water come in, so X amount of water has gone out, plus a little bit extra because of solids, tissue paper, etc. So we're going to charge you X amount for that per cubic metre. And you start to think, hang on a minute, I pay £1.50 per cubic metre of fresh water coming in, and I pay £1.60, 70 of sewage water going out. You went, yeah. So you're telling me that because I run off the meter and I'm paying for the water that I'm topping the pond up with, I'm also paying the sewage on that. Yeah. And you shouldn't. And I thought, and you're right. Well, anyway, I looked into it, and as it turns out, yeah, bloody right, you can claim back what they call land runoff from your sewage company. Now, rightfully so, you pay for the water you receive. Rightfully so, you pay for the water that goes into the sewage, which is sorted out. What the bloody hell should you pay the sewage people for water they don't receive? I.e., it goes into a pond, or you feed your watering livestock with it, or your veggie patch, or it's what they call land runoff. Land runoff is any water that doesn't go into the sewage system, and you can claim that. And you do that by putting a meter on your outside pipe, on your outside tap. And I thought, bloody hell. But anyway, there it is. Now, it's not a lot of money. You're not going to claim back a lot of money. But it's something. It's better than a kick in the head, isn't it? Honestly, it is. And to put it in perspective, when I built that pond, I had the pond built, and there's round about between 50 and 20,000 gallons in that bloody thing out there. I paid for the water to fill it up. I paid £500, I think it was, this was years ago, to fill that up. And then I got a bill from the sewage company for £560 for dealing with the sewage. And I remember having an argument at the time. I said, but where did that come from? He said, well, you've just used £500 of water. I said, but it's gone in the pond. Can you prove that? There's a bloody great big pond in the back garden. You come and have a look. Anyway, we had this discussion, shall we say. One thing led to another, and it got paid. I didn't pay it, but it did get paid. And of course, it's brought home with what, like Dana said. So, I can put a meter on my outside tap, and I can countercharge or whatever it is the water I'm using that's land runoff to what they're saying is sewage. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, put a little comment in there. Obviously, don't know what your area does, but I'll try and explain it more in the comments. So that was that one thing. And I thought, God, bloody Nora, that will save me money. Now, I'm not using really, I don't use the hose anymore. I've got water butts. I collect the rainwater off the roof, and that gives me a hell of a lot of water. So that's an option you can have, guys. Get yourself some butts, plumb it into your roof runoff, and use that water, like for your garden, watering your plants and blah, blah, blah. The other thing, and this will absolutely gobsmack me, your toilets in your house. Your system, we flush the toilet, don't we? We flush the toilet. Yeah, we don't think nothing of it. We don't think anything of it. This isn't a money thing. This is more of a wasting resources thing. Now, most toilet systems in the UK, and you don't pull the chain anymore, but you flush it with the lever or you press the button. Yeah, you might have two buttons, but you press the buttons. Most of them systems use between 7 and 9 litres of water a flush. Yeah, look it up. 7 to 9 litres per flush of water. So, you pay for the 7 or 9 litres to come in, and you pay for the 7 or 9 litres to go out. Yeah, so there is a money thing, but that's a lot of water. It's particularly a lot of water when you listen to this. Let's look at night time. Yeah, so adults, deal with adults, all right? And without being too crude, an adult usually wheeze between 800 mils, 800 mils, and 2 litres of wee in a 24-hour period, as a rule, or with diabetes and all the rest of it, yeah, but as a rule, 800 mils to 2 litres in 24 hours, right? And it normally takes around about, I think it was between 6 and 9 or so visits to the toilet to do that. So if we cut out all the business, when you look at it, the average adult, each time they go to the toilet, wheeze between 100 and 200 mils of urine a go, but uses 7 to 9 litres of water to flush it away. that is mental. That is mental. Just think about it. Do you know what I mean? As a resource. Yeah. Now that's not. That is proper. What that is water from the mains. It's drinking water. It's 7 to 9 litres of water a time to flush away between maybe like 100, 200 mils of wee. Disgraceful. It's disgraceful, isn't it, really? That's terrible. But you can obviously address that. So you can, on the one hand, save money, but more importantly, I suppose, in this regards, is you can save a very valuable resource, drinking water. I mean, for Christ, you've got to think about it. So what you can do is you can get these things called water bags, and they're just basically like a bag that seals. You put water in the bag and you plop it into the cistern. They're about a litre a go. Yeah, so you've got between 7 or 9 litres of water in your cistern, and you put in 1 or 2 of these bags, and you reduce the amount of water by volume that comes in, which reduces your bills. By a little bit, it reduces it, but it reduces the wastage. The other thing you can do, now, you might not agree with this, it's entirely up to you, but me and my missus, I mean, we've been together like nearly 40 years. We know one another, blah, blah, blah. We're all human. We all do the same thing. And I'm talking about going for a wee. There's only me and her in the house. But if you've got kids, let's be sensible about this. During the night, say, I now probably go to the loo between, we'll go for a wee, between 2 and 4, maybe 5 times a night. Great fun getting old. Yeah. My missus, she might do below that, 3 to 5 times a night. But each time I go to the toilet, or she goes to the toilet, we flush the loo, don't think about it. Yeah? A night. So let's just say I go 5 times, she goes 3 times. 8 times a night, that loo is flushed at between 7 and 9 litres a go. That doesn't include washing your hands afterwards. Now, I'm not saying don't wash your hands, but the loo is just wee in a bowl. What we're doing is during the night, we'll go for a wee, shut the lid, don't flush. Yeah? That's it. End of story. And in the morning, flush it. So we're using 9 litres of water to flush the night's load of wee away. Now, you could do that during the day, and if you've got people that come round, you obviously can run upstairs and flush the loo. But, I remember like when I was a kid, I remember like when I was a kid, my mum and dad, they went through a war, and I remember, and I do remember, as a kid, we used to go into mum's room, and you weeding your poo in a bucket, the same as my brothers and my sisters, my mum and my dad and everybody else. You might think that's a bit gross, but that's the way it was. And then Dad would sluice out in the morning. He'd take it down to the loo, and that was it. Job done. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that, guys. So, that's a good few minutes now, but it could save you a few bob. Certainly save valuable resources, and I love you all. All the best, guys. Bye. Bye. I should recap, shouldn't I? Right, let's recap. Get a meter on your tap outside so you can reclaim from the wastewater. Put some expanders in your cisterns so you don't use so much water, and don't flush so many times. Okay, that's it.